Welcome back to Jforrest English. I'm Jennifer, and today you're going to improve your listening skills of fast English. And we're going to do this as a listening exercise, so you're going to test your ability to understand fast-paced native English speakers and then improve your pronunciation and expand your vocabulary at the same time. Let's get started. Here are your instructions for the entire video. First, I'm going to say a sentence 3 times, and you need to write down exactly what you hear in the comments. Next, you can review what I said, and you can learn the pronunciation changes that take place in a fast speech, and you can learn the expressions that I used. Are you ready? Let's get started with your first listening exercise. I'll say it 3 times. I can't believe she sprung that on me. I can't believe she sprung that on me. I can't believe she sprung that on me. I said, I can't believe she sprung that on me. For this listening exercise, I don't think the pronunciation is difficult to understand, but you have to know this expression and understand what this expression means. So the expression I used is to spring something on someone. I can't believe she sprung. Sprung is the past simple of the verb spring. To spring, sprung. She sprung that is the something, on me. When you spring something on someone, you suddenly ask or tell someone something that they weren't expecting. So let's say there is a presentation taking place 1 hour from right now. And my coworker was supposed to do this presentation. But just now, 1 hour before the presentation, my boss says, oh, by the way, Jennifer, I want you to do the presentation in 1 hour. And I'm not prepared for this at all. I wasn't expecting it. Then I can say, I can't believe she sprung that on me. And that represents that I have to give the presentation in 1 hour. Our next listening test, I'll say it 3 times. It's supposed to rain on and off today. It's supposed to rain on and off today. It's supposed to rain on and off today. I said, it's supposed to rain on and off today. First, let's talk about pronunciation. Here we have a contraction, it's. It's supposed to. It's as a contraction represents it is. It's supposed to. Now notice here, supposed to. Suppose is spelled with an ED. It's an ED verb, but you don't hear it at all. It's supposed to. Supposed to. But it's always spelled with an ED verb when the expression is to be supposed to. Now, many students forget the verb to be in this expression. Don't forget the verb to be. It's grammatically incorrect. It is supposed to. I was supposed to. She is supposed to. We are supposed to. Don't forget that verb to be and conjugate your verb to be. It's supposed to rain on and off. On and off. Notice here, the and, you don't hear it at all. It sounds just like a On, off. On, off. On, off. And then you combine that together. On and off. On and off. It's supposed to rain on and off today. When something happens on and off, it means it only happens sum of the time of a total time. So in our expression, the total time is today. But if I say it's supposed to rain on and off today, I know that it is not going to rain the total time, but it is going to rain some of the time. And I don't know when it's going to rain. So it might rain for 1 hour, stop for 3 hours, rain for 2 hours, stop for 1 hour, rain for 2 hours, and then stop again. That would be on and off. We commonly use this expression with rain because rain frequently happens on and off. It doesn't happen for the total time of a timeline. But we can also use this expression for other activities as well. For example, I worked as a waitress on and off when I was a student. So I have the total time I was a student, 4 years. And I worked as a waitress. But if I say on and off, it means that I did not work as a waitress the entire time I was a student, so 4 years. Perhaps I worked for 4 months during the summer, and then I didn't work. I focused on school, and then maybe I worked for 2 months, and then I stopped. I worked again for 6 months, and then I stopped. I worked as a waitress on and off. Our next listening test, I'll say it 3 times. I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. I said, I got the gist of it. Here, let's talk about how gist of it, the sounds are combined. The sounds are linked together. And this sounds like gist of it. So I take the last sound on a word and I transfer it to the next sound to help me combine the sounds together. Gist of it, gist of it, gist of it. I got the gist of it. What does this mean? Well, the gist of something is the main idea of something. So if you say, I got the gist of it, here the verb get means understand. I understand, or in the past, I understood the main idea of it. But when you say, I get the gist of it, or I got the gist of it, you're letting the person know that you understand the main idea, but you don't necessarily understand all the smaller details or all the details. You just understand the main idea. For example, her lecture was complicated, but I got the gist of it. So perhaps you're learning something new, and for you, it's complicated. For me, something complicated would be to do with math or science. So if I went to a physics lecture or a quantum mechanics lecture, maybe I understand the overall idea of the lecture, but I don't really understand all the small details. I just have an overall understanding of the main idea. I got the gist of it. Are you ready for your next listening exercise? I'll say it 3 times. Just a heads up that I'm running late. Just a heads up that I'm running late. Just a heads up that I'm running late. I said, just a heads up that I'm running late. For pronunciation, let's talk about heads up, how it combines and links together. Heads up, heads up. So notice that S on heads, when I combine it with my vowel sound in up, I use a z, z to combine that together, and it sounds like one word. Heads up, heads up, heads up. Just a heads up that I'm running late. When you give someone a heads up, so the expression just a heads up, this is used to give someone advanced warning of something. So I'm letting the person know in advance that I'm going to be late, and you use the expression heads up to identify that you're giving a warning. And the expression to run late, this is what native speakers use when we're late. So to be late, we're going to be late, you can use run late. And we commonly use this in the present continuous. I'm running late. Right now, I'm running late, which means I am late, and therefore I'm going to be late for my next appointment, which is likely with you, and that's why I'm giving you a heads up. A native speaker would commonly send a quick text message to a coworker or their boss and say, heads up, running late, stuck in traffic. So I say heads up, letting you know it's advance warning. Running late, this is just the essential information, running late. And then stuck in traffic, that's the reason why I'm running late. And now you know I'm not going to be at our scheduled meeting because I'm running late. Are you ready for your last listening exercise? I'll say it 3 times. Here's my quick take on it. Here's my quick take on it. Here's my quick take on it. I said, here's my quick take on it. Let's talk about how the sounds combine for the 3 words, take on it. And it sounds like one word, take on it. Take-on it. But you have to combine those sounds together. Take on it, take on it. So that's how we transfer sounds. We link the sounds together so 3 individual words can sound like one word. Take on it. Here's my quick take on it. Now, one's take on something, my take on it, this is simply one's opinion or idea on something specific. This is commonly used to ask someone's opinion when you're discussing something specific. For example, what's your take on the company's decision to pay for language classes? So let's say your company decided to pay for your language classes. That's amazing, right? So that's the it. What's your take on it? The it is the company's decision to pay for language classes. What's your take on it? I'm asking you, what's your opinion on this initiative? To answer, you can simply state your opinion. I think it's an amazing idea. So now I want you to practice pronunciation so you can really get comfortable with moving your mouth and producing these sounds at a faster pace. So let's do an imitation exercise. I am going to say each sentence again 3 times, and I want you to repeat it out loud and try to get your pronunciation as close to mine as possible. I can't believe she sprung that on me. I can't believe she sprung that on me. I can't believe she sprung that on me. It's supposed to rain on and off today. It's supposed to rain on and off today. It's supposed to rain on and off today. I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. Just a heads up that I'm running late. Just a heads up that I'm running late. Just a heads up that I'm running late. Here's my quick take on it. Here's my quick take on it. Here's my quick take on it. Amazing job. Keep practicing and you're going to improve your listening skills of fast English and start sounding like a native English speaker as well. Did you enjoy this lesson? Do you want me to make more lessons just like this one? If so, put yes, yes, yes in the comments so I know you enjoyed this lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And why don't you get started with your next lesson right now?